Welcome to another episode of Gun Freedom Radio, where we engage, we educate, and we inform. We are brought to you by azfirearms.com, the biggest little gun shop in Arizona. I am one of your hosts, Cheryl Todd.
And I'm Dan Todd. We have a great show today. Cheryl, who do we have on?
Let's see. We can actually see him because this is one of our video interviews. Maj Toure.
Hey, what's up, y'all? How's everybody doing?
We are doing awesome, and we are excited to not only get to talk to you, but also see you. And so if you've been living in a cave and don't know who Maj Toure is the founder of Black Guns Matter, and it's a group that helps urban communities learn about their gun rights and responsibilities. And one of the things that I love so much about Maj is this tagline here: the Second Amendment is colorblind, and the human right to self-defense is meant for all people, including the often forgotten individuals of urban communities. And that is just so, so true. And I think I want to start by saying that one of my favorite quotes of all time is something Walt Disney said, and that is, "It's kind of fun to do the impossible." So I kind of wanted to talk about, I just want to be sure that you know that you can't, Maj, right? You can't be just one guy going out there changing the world.
Impossible.
Right? So I don't know where you got this idea, but you also can't do this as one guy changing the world, being 100% funded by donations and t-shirt sales. Okay, so just get this straight, get this clear. Okay. You also cannot get national recognition when you've just had your brand for less than a year and just now a year. Okay? Are you following the rules yet?
I'm going to attempt to follow these rules, but I've severely broken a few of these.
And I got another one. You absolutely, under no circumstances, can you teach gun safety. Okay, let me repeat that. Gun safety in a public school in Philly. You can't. So
you didn't get the memo.
Just stop. You didn't get that memo?
I didn't get the memo. I missed it. I was on vacation at that time, whenever it came.
So that is why you're doing you're breaking all of these cardinal rules.
Yep, you have to. You got to break them because of the fact that, well, first, it's really not just me. It's my team. I have a small, cadre of very, dedicated, professional, much more smart than me people around me. So really a lot of that's them. But when it comes to just having the vision or just executing a vision that my team really comes up with, I'm there for it. It is beautiful and kind of fun to, do the impossible, to be in spaces. There used to be, the thought process was, we're going to take this metal tube and put wings on it and put humans in it and fly them across water and oceans. And no one was
you can't do that.
We have modern aviation, so saying this to say it's been wonderful. I enjoy the fact that we're able to break so many preconceived notions, stereotypes, and restrictions, because those things, most of them actually weren't there to begin with. These are things that we've acquired over time or have had, hoist upon us over time. And some of us aren't, old enough to remember times when these things didn't exist. I have yet to live in a time where, in America where the NFA didn't exist. So to me, when I hear it, it's like, oh man, how awesome would it be if I could buy, a fully automatic firearm at the same exact rate that I could buy a semi-automatic pistol? How awesome would that be? We should do that, so, and these things existed before, so it's been a wonderful ride over the last year. I mean, we've met so many beautiful people, gun people that are the nicest people ever, so it's been amazing. And I'm going to continue to find the rules that we can break because they've already broken, our human rights by, fostering those rules in the first place. So it's really just resetting the bone back to its proper perspective.
Absolutely. I love that. And, I kind of tiptoed into teaching gun safety in a public school. Now, while you talk to us about how that kind of even came about, because who would even think to ask the question of a public school, hey, can I bring this educational, program into your curriculum? Talk about that, and I'm going to try to set up real quickly a short video that you recorded while you were in the classroom, and then just a few pictures. So I'm going to rearrange our screen a little bit while you're talking, but go ahead.
Sure. Yeah, we that again, my team, we come up when we toss around ideas, and we'll say, wouldn't it be crazy if we did, a license to carry drive? Wouldn't it be crazy if we did a 13-city tour? Well, we do these things, and it becomes, oh man, wouldn't it be crazy if we did 50 states, if we were in every state? Wouldn't it be crazy if, we got people to see the importance of these things? So those types of things, and that's what happened with the school. It was, wouldn't it be crazy? This hasn't been done since the 50s or something like that. Wouldn't it be crazy if Philadelphia, being the birthplace of America, the Constitution, wouldn't it be crazy if we applied something like this and did it in Philly first? And then, we start executing that thing. I'm not a traditional, gun guy. So sometimes coming from left field, you don't know of the things that you're supposed to not, care about. I don't, so that limitation, I don't have those blinders. We don't have those blinders because we just coming from a space of, we like guns. We want to be able to exercise ourselves. We come more from a safety and, more, training in the sense of, respect for human rights perspective. So because of that, it's like, why wouldn't you? And that energy alone sometimes creates a space where people are very comfortable because you're not going into it with a thought process of fear. So that's what we did, with the school, the staff and the principal, over there at Yes Philly. Couldn't have picked a better school to pilot the program with because, these are students that, are clearly at risk, 16 to 21, fully funded by the Philadelphia public school system. And we had these are supposedly the bad students, and I mean, their trigger discipline alone was amazing, so it wasn't really a hard sell in the sense of getting the students to, participate because it was something fresh and something that they definitely understood the relevance of it in their life practically. And we just did it. And really that's how we've been maneuvering across the country. We don't submit to the concept, of like limitations. I say a lot of times on our social media, we're going to live forever. Your deeds and your actions and what we do now, is a movie. What we do now will echo in eternity. And I really, really believe that. So I don't suffer from no. No just means like try it a different way, on some Thomas Edison type vibe, So again, the results over there at Yes Philly, and again, salute to them, the staff, the students, and we were able to link up with other teachers in the Philadelphia school district. So we're already working on the curriculum for that. So the goal over time is to get this in every school, get it in their curriculum. So it was amazing.
Maj, it's working because, a couple months ago you came to Phoenix, and just yesterday, a gentleman came in that attended your class that bought a gun from us.
Word.
So it's working.
And he had heard about us first because you came to Arizona to teach your class. Okay, so I'm going to play this quick video of you being the teacher. So here we go.
It's not a cool thing. It's not that I got a gun, I'm going to show my homies. None of that. Concealed is concealed. All right? Go ahead, I'm listening. They're going to be at the class tonight. Or there's a great website. It's an amazing website that everybody should check. And it has t-shirts on it. It's the best website you've ever seen. It's called officialblackgunsmatter.com. No, not on Amazon. We don't get no money off that. So don't buy the bootlegs. You want to get them from us. Don't go on Amazon. That's not us. Officialblackgunsmatter.com. Or if y'all go on my Instagram, you can post that shit up on my gram. Who on the gram? Listen, I can take yours. I can follow you. Well, matter of fact, if y'all follow me, I'll follow y'all right back. My Instagram. Oh, wait, y'all can't use it. Yes, y'all can.
So the place, this is where I wanted to start it right there.
1, 2, 3. Eminence.
Imminent.
Unless your life is an imminent danger. It's not a cool thing. It's not that I got a gun, I'm gonna show my homies. None of that. Concealed is concealed. Right? Mm-hmm.
So I like that. You're making the points, you're engaging them. They clearly like you. They're clearly listening to what you're saying. So tell us about the just the atmosphere in the room.
Oh, the atmosphere was amazing because first in the beginning, we were there for a week. In the beginning, you know, you're dealing with students that they have no idea what we're there to teach them. Or what they're actually going to learn. They don't know that, you know, we're going to give them their own replica firearm that they're responsible for the entire time that they're in the school. They don't know that. So when I say on first day, I give the breakdown. Before the breakdown happens, it's like, okay, what are you here for? You know what I mean? And then when I go, you know, at the bottom of that, you know, dry erase board, when I say, yeah, you'll get your guns tomorrow. And everybody's like,
what? Suddenly you're the cool substitute, right?
Even down to being able to say, you know, they had a rule in the class, like, you know, no one's allowed to use their phones, you know, and for me, it was like, nah, I do interviews on like national shows and I'm like on my phone. And it's an intricate part of your life and information. Someone says something that you don't know nothing about, I'll forget. So I want to research that right now. You know, so I was telling them, listen, if you want to listen to music, if you don't want to be here, you can still come to the class. And if you don't want to pay attention, just don't disrupt. Put your earbuds in, watch YouTube, watch whatever you want. But I promise you that this information you're not going to do that. But if you want to use your phones for research purposes, pull them out. I'm going to follow you back. Y'all follow me. This is a more open and respectful to those young people's present space approach. You know, so after getting past that initial, who's this guy and, you know, what is he talking about? And then showing them how practical it could be. I mean, they defended me. Like, it was people that was like, we don't know about guns. And they're like, yo, our teacher is telling us about the safety part of it, you know. So you just got to meet young people. I think a lot of times we make the mistake of, you know, we prejudge young people, you know, and a lot of those guys had a negative, you know, had a few cases here and there. I don't care. I don't care. There's no difference. You know, you're an American citizen, you're a young American citizen, and you're actually our future. So because of that, those little mistakes that you made because you weren't really given the information, that could have been me too. You know what I'm saying? So after that part was, you know, established and there was firm guidelines and there was a firm respect for their choices, it went smooth. And it was able, you know, I'm not taking anything away from you that you value. I'm letting you do the things that you value while adding more value, you know, and I'm giving you the option of saying, nah, I just want to kind of like zone out today. I mean, I had a student, you know, she was going through something. Cool. Just, you know, and it took her 10 minutes. She got through it on her earbuds. And then something interesting happened with the replica firearm and she got right back into the swing of things, you know. And so saying that to say for the entire week, you know, it was very good. Even down to, I was nervous when the photographers came because, you know, I'm thinking, you know, photographers, the students might get a little nervous. Their trigger and muzzle discipline is going to be horrible. And, you know, that picture up there, it's like, that's some of the best trigger. I've seen adults not have that same level of trigger discipline on camera. And some of the students was like, yo, I don't really rock with cameras. And I get them. But they were very excellent. They were outstanding students that understood how this impacts their life. And the classroom was great. It was very open and free, as it should be.
As it should be. So when I look at this picture, I know what I see, but I think there could be a lot of people out there that have no idea about guns and teaching kids and youth about guns, and they just think guns are bad, period, that look at that and maybe they have a fear reaction. Like, you know what I'm saying? But what we're seeing is that they're being properly trained and educated. We're seeing the firearms being pointed in a safe direction. We're seeing the excellent trigger discipline where their finger is indexed along the side of the gun. So that's what I see. What kind of pushback? What kind of feedback? What have you heard since this experiment?
It's been all positive. See, we're an anomaly. We're almost, and I'm going to be very easy when I say this, because I don't want to come off. I don't want my confidence in what we do, because we work very hard as a team. I don't want that confidence to come off as arrogance. My arrogance usually comes in the form of what coffees are superior, what foods.
Yes, you are arrogant about your Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I'm just going to put that right out there.
Who is going to out-eat who at the restaurant? Like, these are my areas of arrogance. But as far as like, knowing that my team works very hard to make sure that the information and we've done our due diligence, it's very difficult to give us pushback because, one, our position is safety and training and knowledge. For you to argue against knowledge and safety, you kind of saying, hey, I want ignorance and chaos. That's really a really silly position to take. And I think a little bit of racism usually is used because it's easy for, more anti-gun, whether they fall under liberal, Democratic, even Republican, it doesn't matter. It's a lot easier to make fun of the white guy. It's easier to say, oh, Danny's the racist white dude. It's easy to say that. Our organization snatches that, right from up under you. You can't say that about me. You can't say I don't have an attachment to the community. I'm in the hood right now. There's so many angles that they traditionally would try to use that they can't with us. And it's beautiful. So now the information, I remember they initially tried it. They tried it with, some of our earlier stories, they made the concentration more about the firearm than what we're doing. So, okay, because of that, you're never going to see me with a firearm in an interview anymore. You're never going to see me with a firearm in public anymore. I can remove that real quick. You know what I'm saying? So we do a very good job, my team, of adapting to what things are being thrown and presented. The new thing that they're doing, some of the anti-gun groups in Pennsylvania, I ran into a guy and he said, yeah, man, we supposed to have beef. I said, what do you mean? And he said, Sherry Goodman from Ceasefire PA, she hired me to come deal with you. And he, young, 26, 27-year-old black male. So now what they're doing is they're hiring, guys that kind of look like me to try to combat me, because if they do it, you can't. So, and I got something for that because, again, my team is very solid. And when you're on a position of righteousness, human rights, it's still hard. Even I don't care if you green. It doesn't matter. It's very difficult for you to argue against the information and the actual facts of the matter. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the thing that they're trying to attempt now. But that's cool because, leaders get followed, and I'm not really tripping off that, so, but as far as like pushback from the school, every single piece of press that we got was amazing. There has been no pushback. There is none. There can't be any. That the demographic of young people that are affected most negatively by this ignorance are now learning how to legally, lawfully, responsibly, and safely be around firearms. Not even if they want to shoot or participate, they can tell their even younger brothers and sisters or cousins, hey, this is what you do, in a certain scenario if you happen to come across a firearm. And now those students know that, and it's going to spread. It's a positivity virus, and it's not even really like, we didn't get pushback. We had council people that came out on Friday. We had city council people, Kenyatta Johnson, came out, took pictures with the students, shook hands, got his contact information. We're going to figure something else out later on. There is no way. I think the other side that would like to attack our freedoms would have us believe that there's this horrible pushback. And it's not. I'm not getting it. I'm pretty honest, and I like a good fight because I'm going to win. But right now it's not. The fight is just the ability to inform more and more people. The fight has not been any of those outdated tactics that, people that wouldn't like freedom would present. I think even some of them, honestly, are starting to go, yeah, this is kind of silly that we're on this. We should kind of like switch the other way, so it's been all positive. It's been all love.
I think that's phenomenal. And really, when they're faced with the light of truth, I think it is a lot harder for them to come up with their yeah buts,
Yeah.
And because all their yeah buts are just emotion based and they're hypotheticals. Well, what if this happened? What if that happened? I just was watching a news show yesterday that somebody in New York, I think he's an attorney or somebody in New York, they're of course trying to get their reciprocity for concealed carry there. And this guy got on the news and said, well, if we had reciprocity, which means like if I have a concealed carry license in Arizona, I could go to New York and you know, just like I can use my driver's license there and I can drive there, I can use my firearms license there. And he said it would be a nightmare for our police because the police would never know who's the good guy and who's the bad guy, including terrorists. And I said, well, the New York police, in my mind, I said, the New York police really need to come to Arizona because somehow here in Arizona, where we are a living day-to-day real-time example and experiment of constitutional carry, where you buy a firearm, you go through your background check, and now you own the firearm. You don't have to have any special permits or any of that sort of thing. Somehow, the police officers in Arizona are able to figure it out, and we're not shooting each other. So there's that. Is that magic?
The police officers seem to get it. I think when politicians like that say those types of things, it's a spit in the face of law enforcement that's actually doing the job.
Yes.
I mean, it's like you're saying these guys are idiots. These women are idiots. It's like, that's not true. You're just saying stuff. And you saying, it's like the guy that was like, this is the ghost gun that has 30,000 rounds a minute. And I'm like, it's a ghost clip that has capable of 30 bajillion bullets. And I'm like, where did you get that gun?
Right.
Yeah, who could even afford to shoot that?
Right. It's like, where are you hiding all of the ammo for the 30,000 bullets per whatever? It's a cornucopia clip. Like it just is a never-ending body of ammo.
It's like Star Trek where they beam me up, Scotty. It's beamed into the like in Star Wars, and those guys where they got the guns and they're laser guns, and it's never a refill. Auto generating. I love it. Auto refill. That's what we need. Okay. Right. So we're about to run out of time, unfortunately. But what's next? I mean, you're already breaking so many of the rules. What rule are we breaking next? Where are we going? What do you got planned?
It's two things. One, Black Guns Matter needs to, first we need to fulfill our GoFundMe goal. Okay. Which one of our public GoFundMe goal is $150,000. We just cracked maybe like 55,000 or something like that. I want to give a shout to U.S. and Texas Law Shield. Those guys donated $5,000 yesterday.
I saw that. That's fantastic.
Yeah. So I want to figure out how we can get something where, we can get U.S. Law Shield, they law every month. You got a lawyer, pretty much. I would love to work with them since they gave us money. Let's figure out how we can get what they're doing to my demographic. So outside of that, just wanted to get them that shout for that because it's $5,000. The other thing is I want to make sure that we get our $150,000 goal so we can hit every single state in America. That's still going to happen. The other thing is we do have a $500,000 more private breakdown of how we can impact on an even bigger level. We need an RV. Now, these are short-term goals. So we need an RV. So if I'm in Avondale, I can hit Phoenix, I can hit here, I can hit Scottsdale, and not have to spend thousands of dollars for my team. So any of you really, really rich, wealthy listeners, we're here. Outside of that, my vision is to make Black Guns Matter a franchise. There needs to be a gun shop, a school, a gym, and a coffee shop, all in one location.
Coffee shop. It's got to be coffee.
Yeah, that's the retail end. The retail end. So when I want to franchise this, and this needs to pop off like Dunkin' Donuts. If we can do that in every major city, the need for me to be there is obsolete. We can take on investors. We can get an incorporation, and to that sense, and take on. This needs to be taken public. That's my overall goal. Then I can go, be on an island and drink. Me and Danny could just hang out and drink and race muscle cars. You know what I'm saying?
That's a great goal. He needs a hobby. He doesn't have enough to do. So.
Right, at all. Never mind these several businesses that I'm juggling at all times. So yeah, that's the short and long term goal. But really, it's just to make the need for what we do obsolete. If I can, if we can be instrumental in removing the NFA and getting, that national reciprocity, like a driver's license, if we do a small slither in assistance in that, that's a huge victory. So those are some of my our short and long-term goals. But again, anybody that's listening, man, or viewing, because this is different, please, we are completely, I know my nickname is Illuminati Maj because it's a joke, because it's like, there's no way he can be getting this done without being in the Illuminati. But to be perfectly honest, we are completely, supported by you, and to be honest, whether it's merchandise sales and things of that nature. So everybody hit the GoFundMe, GoFundMe.com/Black Guns Matter, official BlackGunsMatter.com. Support us in those endeavors, and then that's our short and long-term goals.
And so I follow you on Instagram, which to me is such a great way to stay on top of what's going on with you, as far as your classes, as far as your the things that you're selling. You've got a little pop-up store that you're working on, and other ways that people can just kind of stay in your space, because you're constantly taking callers from, or questions from your followers and callers, that sort of thing. And you really have a plethora of wisdom to share with people that, we can't fit all in a 30-minute interview. So I would definitely encourage people to follow your Instagram. And where else are you really prolific?
Really much in the universt, I am prolific.
This is true. But digitally from my phone, how do I?
From my phone. Our official Black Guns Matter _Maj Toure on Facebook. My personal Facebook, Maj Toure, MAJTOURE. Instagram and Twitter. Our official Black Guns Matter Twitter is BLKGUNSMATTR. Our Instagram, our official Instagram is official Black Guns Matter. My personal Instagram is @Maj Toure. Just social media, just the Twitter and all of that stuff is me, So yeah, just in any manner where, some people are more comfortable with Twitter, boom, hit me on Twitter. Some people are more comfortable on Instagram. Instagram's really where my heart is at, to be perfectly honest. If people want that have a little bit more of a longer attention span, they can subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Black Guns Matter. But I get notifications for all of those things. I am, directly responding to you all. And I enjoy that. I enjoyed the ability. Somebody today, she was like, well, what do you think about machine guns? And I'm like, well, fully automatics, they're awesome. And she's like, well, you mean for civilians? And I'm like, well, civilians can have those. You just have to fill out different papers, and they cost a little bit more, But I was like, you know what? You might not know what that actually means. Give me your number. And then I called her. We had about a 30-minute conversation. Never met this person before in my life. And I love that interaction. It speeds up the ability to be in different places, even though we're in different cities a lot. Mm-hmm. I can take a call from somebody in California and brighten their day up, Mm-hmm. So those are the areas, the Twitter, the Instagrams, our Facebook, and just hit us up there. Follow us too. And I try to follow everybody back as well.
You do a great job of that. And also I want to say that I believe it is a fact that the best teachers are also excellent students. Mm-hmm. And you demonstrate to us through your social media posts that you are an excellent student. You really lean on and seek out the wisdom of others. So you don't hold yourself up like, I am the all-knowing, all-seeing Maj. You're saying, I'm imparting to you things that I have learned from others. I'm standing on the shoulders of giants, and here's what they have shared with me. And I think that's incredibly important.
It is, because that's how you keep legacy. That's how you nation build. That's how you understand tradition, and you also can rectify some areas where your predecessors may have made mistakes, and you don't have to experience that mistake in order to learn from it or profit from it. So a few days ago I was with Masad Ayub. Like,
wow. That was awesome.
Just being quiet, like asking him a question. And, you know, and the funny thing was he was telling me how, we love what you do, you know, and I'm like, really? I ran into him at the annual meetings and I was buzzing. I had too many drinks, but he was in the restaurant that I was in. And I was like, oh man, it's Mr. How you? And he was like, I like what you're doing. I saw what you did in Chicago, and I'm blown away. You know, I've read Deadly Force 5 times. You know, so between him and between Hickok and between Noir, because some of these guys aren't super older guys. You know, and Argo J and these different people, and you know, you guys and what you guys have done, you know, over there in Avondale. I mean, I haven't. Do you guys know that I had never been to an auction house before I came to you guys' spot? Never.
Oh, that's awesome.
I've only heard of them on TV, like, and it's 25, 35, 77, like, I've only heard of that on television.
We should have held an auction so you could have seen what it was about.
I'm coming to that because in my mind, I'm like, this guy really can prattle off these numbers this fast. But saying that to say, it's very important. You got to respect the OGs. You have to, you know, because if not, you're really doing yourself and your community a disservice.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the people that just want to discount any of those who are teachers, just discount them out of hand. They're doing themselves a disservice. And I know you get a fair amount of pushback from certain factions of certain communities. But I think there's some envy there. I think there's some lack of truly understanding what it is you're trying to do. You're not trying to put guns in the hands of high schoolers. You're trying to put education in the minds and responsibility in the hearts, right? And patriotic ideas in the souls of these kids.
Have you ever seen the movie Inception?
Yes.
Really, the goal is to just put this thought. It's the most resilient, an idea, like he said in the movie, is the most resilient thing. It doesn't die. It just keeps growing and keeps going. My job is to make sure that the information that I have is as pristine and as productive as possible, and I can just keep putting these thoughts in people's minds and let it blossom. And you evaluate it on your own. Yes. I'm going to just give you the information, you know, and you know, you're not supposed to stay at one of our events. You're supposed to continue to go to, you know, you guys' shop over there at AZ Firearms. You're supposed to build that bridge. Okay, we met, we interacted, we fellowshipped. And then it's those people are supposed to keep, like the guy, he came to the class, he comes and buys, now he'll be going to a range. You know, that's really the key. That's how we win. You can't, I posted something on Instagram a few days ago. You don't have enough money to save everyone.
Right.
Your job is to, you know, change the minds in their hearts so they can start saving themselves.
Right.
You know, so that's really the overall goal. I'm really just Tyler Durden and this is Fight Club. That's all it is.
Yeah, but the first rule of Fight Club is we're breaking that rule too because we are talking about Black Guns Matter. Well, Maj, thank you so much for taking the time. And I mean, honestly, thank you for breaking the rules that you're breaking. Thank you for going into a public school. And thank you for reminding us that you're one guy, but you do have a small team. But those are, you know, one person that could have just stayed home. They could have just, you know, done something else with their time and energy. But instead, they said, let's do something about the future of this country. Let's do something about the immediate future of the people in these communities. And I applaud you all and I thank you all. And I look forward to whenever the next time we get to see each other, which might be the Gun Rights Policy Conference in Dallas coming up in September.
Yeah, I'm coming to that.
Yep. Fantastic. All right. Well,
hey,
Dan,
maybe she'll let me talk too.
do you want to say something, Dan? Because
well, it's good seeing you, man.
Same here, Danny. I'll talk to y'all in a little bit. It's gonna be cool. Yo, when y'all get there, it's for like 2 days, right?
Yeah.
2 or 3 days?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna hang out. Me and Danny gonna drink.
That's right.
This is a bad idea. He's gonna have to be really busy. He's got things to do while he's there, I think.
I'm gonna be sick on that day, type 5.
That's right, exactly. All right. Well, thank you again so much. And Maj Toure of Black Guns Matter. Check him out. Bye-bye.